Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Keedron Coger, and this is Reoccurring Thoughts. This will be my third episode, and so far it's been good, man. I've enjoyed doing this type of thing, so I won't keep it up. Hopefully I can get consistent with these uploads, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it. So first off, I want to start this episode off with a moment of silence for Rob Bramlett, the voice of the Auburn Tigers, and Howard Moore, an assistant coach for the Wisconsin Badgers basketball squad. To explain what happened, both of the men were in car accidents. Rob Bramlett, to speak on him first, like I said, he's the voice of Auburn basketball, and it's such a sad situation. I pray that their kids. I pray that their kids are able to heal from this. But Rob Bramlett, the voice of the Auburn Tigers, him and his wife were in a two-car accident here or in Auburn, Alabama, and both of them, him and his wife, passed away last night, and it's so sad. And I just pray. I just pray for their family, and their families are in my thoughts and prayers. And we'll have a moment of silence here in a second after I talk about Howard Moore. Howard Moore, like I said, Wisconsin basketball coach, assistant. His wife and his daughter, his wife, his daughter, and his son were all in a car accident. His wife and his daughter, unfortunately, sadly, passed away yesterday afternoon. And this is so sad, man. It's so sad. And I don't know much about Howard Moore, but I just pray that his family heals from this. He and his family heal from this, and I'm going to keep them in my prayers as well. I'm going to go with a moment of silence, and I'm going to get the video started. So let's take a second to pray for them and be thoughtful of them. Okay, I'm gonna say a quick prayer for the family of both families, the Bramlett family and the Moore family. Father God, I ask that you be with them in their time of need. I pray, Father God, that you be a hand over them and guide them and bring them back as pieces. Right now they're broken. I pray that you just bring both families, the Bramlett family and the Moore family, back and allow them to heal. Father God, this is a sad tragedy, and I just pray that you bring them back and be with them through it all, Father God. Um, I just want to say that also in that car accident with the Bramletts, another 16-year-old driver of the other vehicle that was in the accident was taken to the hospital as well, and I haven't seen a status update on them yet. I'll go looking for it here in a second, but I pray for them as well. I pray that 16-year-old is okay. People, just remember to be safe on the roads. That's all I can say. Be safe, because you never know what can happen. Be safe, buckle up, and take care of. Watch the speed limit, do the speed limit, and follow all rules. Because something like this is just a senseless tragedy, and it could have been avoided, of course. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Tonight's video, or this morning's video, excuse me, is going to be about what happened last night in the Eastern Conference Finals. And first off, let's just say that Kawhi Leonard is a great player. Let's all agree on that. He, like I said in my last NBA video, he's a top 3 or 4 basketball player in the world. I had him top 3. He's a top 3 basketball player in the world, and I just love who he is as a player. A scrappy defender and can score when he wants to. Really, Giannis had a heck of a run in the playoffs. That man is talented. He is very talented. He's a great player. I just hope he develops a jump shot. That's all he really needs is a jump shot, and he'll be one of the greats. Kawhi, the Raptors. Without DeMar DeRozan, I didn't know how the Raptors would look with Kawhi. I thought it would be kind of different. but it actually played in the favor of the Raptors. So congratulations to them going to the NBA Finals, playing the Warriors on May 30th. First game Thursday night. They'll be playing. I don't know what station, but they will be playing the Warriors, and I will definitely be watching. Like I said, I predicted the Raptors to win in six, and that was a great prediction by me. But they came back and won four straight. They started off down 2-0 or 0-2. Sorry, the Raptors started 0-2, and they ended up coming back and winning the series. So congratulations, like I said, to Nick Nurse in his first year as a head coach and of the Raptors, and Kawhi Leonard his first year on the team, leading the team to the playoffs. Um, the final score for that game was 100-94, and then the closing seconds, it was about 8 seconds left. Siakam missed a layup. Um, it hit off the bottom of the rim, and they had to go back to replay to see that it was supposed to reset the shot clock, and it didn't. So the refs called an official timeout and got it all settled. And then Chris Middleton, it went off his hand out of bounds, and the Raptors got the ball back, and the rest is history, man. The rest is history. So congratulations to the Raptors. Kawhi, much respect to you, brother. You are a great basketball player. Giannis, like I said, man, I love Giannis and I love Kawhi too. But Giannis, that man is very, very talented. I can't stop saying that. So Giannis had an interview after the game, and him and Chris Middleton, and the lady asked a question as far as she said before, you guys have said that experience is basically her question was saying that experience is the best teacher, pretty much, and she said now that you have experiences, do you think that point that you guys what you guys have been saying as far as experience helps in these situations? Do you think it adds some validity to that statement? And Giannis got up and walked off. And you could see Chris Middleton's reaction. You could tell he was like, "What are you doing? What's going on?" No, but Giannis got up and walked off. And honestly, I don't think it was a rude question. I don't think it was out of the way. I just think, I mean, yeah, you're upset about the loss, but I understand it's your job to do these press conferences. So, man, just take it. And everybody clown Cam Newton for being upset and calling him a sore loser back in 2000. What was it, 2014, I believe, when they went to the Super Bowl against the Broncos. Fact check me on that one, but um, yeah, everybody clowned him for being a sore loser. But Giannis got up and walked out of an interview. LeBron did the same thing, and it became a notorious. I don't know how to say the word. GIF, however you say GIF, however you say that word. It became notorious because of his shorts, his suit shorts. But he got up and walked out of that one too. But Giannis, I think you should just sat there and accepted the question, man. That's just my opinion. Like I said, this is all opinion, so I just think he should have sat there and accepted the question. But overall, great series. Two great teams that'll probably be back in the same situation next year, depending on how free agency shakes out. If Kawhi stays or if he leaves, I'm assuming. In my opinion, I think he's going to stay. Um, so I think I believe that the core that they have in Toronto is one like no other. I mean, with Kyle Lowry, he's kind of spotty in some games, but he can play. He's definitely a good point guard. Um, Kawhi Leonard himself, of course, Mark Gasol, great player, still a great center. Siakam and Ibaka. I mean, those five right there, that's a good squad. So I think if Toronto can keep all five of those, and Fred VanVleet off the bench, and Jared Bayless and Norman Powell, all those guys, man, that's a talented squad. So I think they should keep them together, and maybe they'll have another run like this year. The Warriors, of course, they're playing the Warriors, and we're trying to see if Kevin Durant is going to play at all in this series. From the reports I saw, he wasn't going to play early on in the series, maybe one or two, game one or two, and they'll see how it goes. But I think the Warriors will be okay. I believe they'll win it in five. My prediction, that's it right there. They'll win it in five, and like I said, the Warriors are great, man. They don't necessarily need Kevin Durant to be great. They're already good. I mean, it's simple. They're already good, so I think they'll be fine. Um, so yeah, that was a great game last night, and I enjoyed it for sure watching the ending. And it hurts to see Giannis like that, but he'll be back next year. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Giannis will be back, and the Eastern Conference is without LeBron, it's more open because you don't know who's going to win it. Yeah, you got the 76ers with Jimmy Butler and Embiid and Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris and those guys, and then you've got Boston with Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving this year, Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier. You got them, and then you got the Bucks with Giannis, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, um, and then you got excuse me. Then you got. Let me think. I've got to think of this other team. How could I forget the Toronto Raptors? Like I said, I forgot about them. But the Toronto Raptors, you got them with Kawhi and Kyle Lowry, Mark Gasol, Serge Ibaka, and Siakam. Man, that's a great influx of talented teams. Really, I mean, it's kind of shocking how wide open it was, but it's not necessarily shocking. The West, I think the West will be more competitive next year, depending, like I said, on how free agency shakes out. I'll do another yes, another podcast video on that. My predictions for free agency. I'll do another one, and I just, man, I don't know how it's going to shake out. It's going to be interesting. That's always the fun part for me is watching how free agency goes. My Knicks, I am a Knicks fan, yes, and I just want to see how they do in free agency. Kevin Durant, come to New York, baby. Come on. Kyrie, we'd love to have you. Jimmy Butler, we'd love to have you if we got the money. DeMarcus Cousins, we'd love to have you. Klay Thompson, we'd love to have you. Man, we'd love to have all you guys. So come to New York. Let's win a championship. Let's bring a championship to New York. We need something. We lost out in the lottery, getting the third pick, and we need something in New York. I mean, I love the pickup of Kevin Knox in the draft last year. I like that. I think Ntilikina can do some things if they put him in the right position, and I believe that David Fizdale is a great coach for us. Oh yeah, speaking of coaches, Nick Nurse, his first season winning a championship. Me and my buddy made a joke and wondering how Dwayne Casey feels about it. And I don't think Dwayne Casey should have been fired from Toronto. I think he was doing the best he could with playing LeBron every year. Man, that's hard. I mean, you got to play the GOAT every year in the same position. Of course, you're not gonna play well. You know what I mean, or you're not gonna beat him. That's the GOAT, man. That's the GOAT. So I think he's still got a great job in Detroit with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and those guys. So I think he'll be in a fixture in the East as well for years to come. But Dwayne Casey, I love him as a coach, and I think it should be him celebrating instead of Nick Nurse. But like I said, congratulations to Nick Nurse being able to go to the NBA Finals for his first time in his coaching career, his young coaching career, first season with the Raptors. DeMar DeRozan, we also joked about that, how he feels, and he's just picture the SpongeBob meme, where SpongeBob is running around with Patrick and Squidward's in the house, looking out the window. That's how we were describing how DeMar DeRozan feels. But really, DeMar was great for the Raptors franchise. It was sad to see him get traded, but the Spurs were a great landing spot for him because Greg Popovich can get him to where he wants to be, and so it was a great spot for him. I see them being contenders in the West again when he stays healthy or can be healthy as possible for a series. So, DeMar, I know it doesn't look well right now, but you will be there too, my man. You'll be there too. Kyle Lowry, congratulations. I know you miss your buddy, but congratulations. You're going to the finals. So, this was video number 3, episode number 3. It was a great episode, like I said, I just described and talked about last night with the Eastern Conference Finals. Also, I want to talk about the Jimmy Butler news. Supposedly, the Clippers aren't necessarily interested in offering Jimmy Butler a contract, a max contract. So the Lakers are, and the Lakers probably will offer him a contract. So keep an eye on that news. Like I said, let me look up the news on the young 16-year-old that was in that car accident with the Bramleys. Unfortunately, I really hate to do this, but I would love to know what's going on with that young person. Um, Rob Bramley, great man. And he's so memorable for the voice of Auburn Tigers, like I said, and I loved with. His call with the kick six and the miracle, the prayer of Jordan Hare. I love those calls. Those are my favorite calls. Um, and it was a juvenile. Of course, as a juvenile, they don't have to. They legally, I guess they. I don't believe they legally can release their name yet. It was a 16-year-old. I do know that. And they said he was taken to East Alabama Medical Center emergency room with non-life-threatening injuries. So, fortunately, he'll be okay. But unfortunately, Rob Bramlin and his wife, of course, passed away. So that makes me sad. And I just, like I said, that's just heartbreaking. Um, that's just heartbreaking. But yeah, this was episode number 3. Rob Bramlett, I love you. Paula Bramlett, I love you. I'm gonna keep your kids in my prayers. You were a great voice for the Auburn Tigers and great man. From what I've been seeing all over social media, you were a heck of a man, and we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you and your wife. You're great people, and may you be with God. May God rest your soul. Um, this has been episode 3, and of course, I've got to end you guys out with a quote of the day, which is "Courage is fear holding on a minute longer" by General George S. Patton. And what that quote means is if you succumb to fear, you might give up and quit or run away. But if you have courage, you can use it to hold on a little longer. Be courageous, people. Don't quit. Don't give up on anything that you want to do. Right now, these podcasts may not be successful in some people's eyes, but I see it as a great success for me. And in coming out of my shell and being able to talk to people and give my opinion to people, I'm enjoying what I'm doing with these, and I hope you guys are loving them too. Thank you for listening. This has been Reoccurring Thoughts, Episode 3, Keezer and Coger. Like I said, pray for the Bramlett family, pray for the Moore family. Y'all have a great Sunday, and look out for Episode 4. Peace out.